fitness is important for a number of reasons. Obviously, there's benefits in longevity. You're going to live longer and better if you're healthy. You're also going to have fewer hospital bills or health bills because you're less likely to get sick. But there's some other benefits to being fit that you may not be aware of, you may not think of, and that's in the self-defense realm. One, the fitter you are, the less likely you will be selected as a victim by the predator through the victim selection process. If you think of yourself as a predator and you see some schlub versus somebody that's toned and fit, which one are you more likely to pick? So there's that benefit. You're also going to feel more confident about yourself. There'll be a spring in your step. You're going to hold yourself differently when you're fit. All of this goes towards being less likely to be picked as a victim. So there's that. Now, let's say that your predator is stupid and he picks you anyway. Being fit will help you in the fight. Think about aerobic capability. How long can you fight? And being out of shape, you may only be able to fight for 15 or 20 seconds. But if you're in good shape, you may be able to fight all out for 30 seconds to a minute. Doesn't seem like a long time, but in a fight, when you're really pushing all out, giving 100% of your capability, you can get winded very quickly. So that's another advantage. Now, I'm not fond of going to the gym. I see the benefit. I just can't get into it. I'm at the range all the time, however, and I noticed that when I'm doing some drills, that I'm working some things. So can we turn some of our drills into fitness exercises and get the double benefit of shooting in practical manner and doing some things to work our fitness? So let's see what that looks like. Everybody knows what crunches are. And you can add crunches into your shooting. It also gives you a chance to shoot from a supine position, an unusual position, and get used to what that's like. Now, being in an unusual position, there are some special considerations. Shooting from this low down changes the angle. So you need to be careful that your bullets are going to strike the target and the backstop and not get pitched over the berm. So I've checked on this and I've got plenty of room. I'm in a place with a very high berm. It may be that you need to move further away to keep the angle lower, but look for that. Don't just look at the target. Rule 4, be sure of your target and what's behind it, what's around it. Being in a different position, make sure you're clear and you're not going to endanger somebody else. Also, your legs are now in front of you instead of below you. And you're going to have a gun muzzle near that. So be aware of that also. But these are good training things that you should be aware of because you may find yourself in this situation. You may have been knocked on your ass and now have to draw your pistol and fight your way back up. So it's certainly realistic. So I'm going to draw my pistol carefully. And I'm just going to lay back and I'm just going to do some pistol crunches to see what that's like. Doesn't hurt to do some single hand also. Now that whole time I'm being very aware where my feet are and where my muzzle is, so I'm not crossing myself. Let's do some single hands. Support hand only. So this is something you can do at the range to build up your fitness and do some realistic practice. Now, maybe you don't get out to the range as much as you like to. So can we do this at home? Sure, there's a couple of different ways. We can do that using our dummy gun, our inert training gun. And this is probably a good way to start if you're doing this for the first time. So there's a little margin for error and you're not likely to hurt yourself. I also like to throw in the added throwing yourself back like you've just been knocked down. Crunch, boom. Look for your sights. Put some pressure on the trigger. Come back down. Maybe transition to the support hand. Come on up, find the sights, press on the trigger. So that's certainly one way of doing it. And you're probably already dry firing as part of your training regime at home. So once again, you can do this as a dry fire drill. Verify that the gun is empty, double check, and work your dry fire drills. Pretty bad flinch on that one, huh? 50 years of shooting, I still flinch. That one's better. Support hand. And just staying in this position, I'm working these muscles, I'm working the core in here. Pretty good workout. And you're doing it, you're being distracted by doing something you enjoy, shooting. Let me show you another drill. Okay, this next drill is kind of a lunge. If you're standing up in a gunfight, you're a big target. Maybe you want to get lower, go to a kneeling position, become a smaller target, become more stable, get behind something for cover that's low. So let's incorporate a lunge into our drills. And that just looks like this. Once again, do single hands. And once again, I'm working regular fitness routines, but I'm doing it with my firearm, so it's a little more fun, and I'm distracting myself from the fact that I'm doing something I don't really like. This can be done with your long gun. This can be done at home. There's no reason you can't do this with your inert training gun. Work those lunges. It's important to be fit for all those reasons I listed at the beginning of the video. You're less likely to be targeted. If you are targeted, you're more likely to survive. Also, speaking of that, if you do get hurt, you heal faster and are less likely to get hurt badly the better shape you're in. I'm Peter Burlingame. This is another Thursday training tip. Please be safe out there and subscribe. Tell your friends about us. Thanks.